Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another edition of On the Ball here at WinFM 98.9. I am Troy Biff Mills, your host, and I'm hoping we're going to have an excellent program tonight. A lot of information to be shared, a lot of things happening all over the world. And before I go any further, I must say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to you, wherever you are. I know in the St. Kitts and Nevis, Leeward Islands, OECS Caribbean, it's going to be good evening. And further afield in the diaspora, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the entire universe. Those of you celebrating today, we say happy birthday to you. Those of you who having an anniversary today, we say happy anniversary to you as well. Those of you who are celebrating some achievement, a promotion on your car and your job and your boyfriend and your girlfriend, we say congratulations to you. Those of you who would have celebrated within the past week, we say happy belated birthday anniversary to you. Those of you who will be celebrating between now and next week Tuesday, we say happy birthday in advance, happy anniversary in advance. And we hope that you're going to be having lots of fun. All kind of action happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. But let us kick off with some football out of the SKNFA, the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association. Right now they are having the Premier League as well as the First Division. And we're just going to give you some scores over the last week. Thereabout. Friday, 5th April, in the Premier League, Honda Newtown United came up against the defending champions, Rams Village Superstars. They're having a torrid time, the defending champions. If they were a new team, persons would have been wondering if it's a fluke. But these have been tried and tested. This is their sixth championship, I'm thinking, but it's a complete different story between them and the SL Horsford St. Paul's United, the team that would have played in the finals. In this game against Honda Newtown on Friday 5th, and all Premier Division games are being played at Warner Park generally, because we would have had one at the Technical Center. Halftime it was 0-0, 1-0 in favor of Rams Village Superstars. They squeezed in one, and when I say squeezed in, really squeezed in one, Dennis Fleming in the 90 plus third minute. Just when the referee going up to put his whistle to him out to blow off the game, ball in the back of the net, and that was 1-0. The red cards seem to be becoming a little more popular now. The Gina Roberts of Newtown, under Newtown, he picked up one in the first half. So Newtown doing well, playing 10 in the last 5 minutes and the entire second half. On Saturday 6th, Trafalgar South Stars, boy, are they struggling. They are really struggling. And when I say struggling, I mean struggling. They were down 3-0 halftime against Skellig Garden Hotspurs. And Skellig Garden Hotspurs, they're struggling as well. Don't get me wrong. They are struggling also. But South Stars able to pull back two in the second half. And Garden Hotspurs put another bulge in the old onion bag. So that game ended 4-2. And scoring for South Stars, well, in the 6th minute, Tariq Queely, he opened the attack for Spurs. And Jaim Charles, he extended the lead in the 38th minute. DeAndre Challenger in the 45th plus 3 minute made it 3-0. And then scoring for South Stars, Mihorajat Hajari, he had a brace he broke the comb, so to speak, in the 89th and 90th minute. But that was after Marvin McSheen for Spurs, who would have made it 4-0 in the 73rd minute. In the second game, Flo Forge Keon Rockets, former champions, came up against Island Auto, Seoul Island Auto Connery, another former champion, 0-0 halftime. It ended 2-1 in favor of Keon. Marvin Lake opening the scoring in the 47th minute. Javine Matthew of Connery, he equalized via penalty kick. And Shaheen Prentice in the 90th minute, ensuring Fluffo Keon Rockets grabbed all 3 points. Sunday, 7th April, we had SL Horsford St. Paul's United continuing their dominating ways, unrelentlessly taking care of business against Hot Springs Bath United. That game was 3-0 halftime in favor of SL Horsford St. Paul's United, and that is where it ended. Malik Clark, he was in the referee's book for the good reasons, as he put a bulge in the old onion bag in the first minute. Keith Y. Freeman, he was in the 15th and the 45th. He had a brace, and that is how it ended. No goals in the second half. In the feature match, Montreal Farms Clean Right United Old Road Jets came up against Development Bank St. Peter's, 0-0 halftime. 2-0 in favor of Montreal Farm Clean Rights United Old Road Jets. Compliments Giovanni Lake, who had a brace in the 74th and 78th minute. And now if we go to the upcoming games for the Premier League, and it's all going to be happening. A lot of football, a lot of excitement. And I'm just going to pull it up here for you. We're going to have on February 12th, the lone game, 8 p.m. at Warner Park. Rams Village Superstars coming up against Fluff OG Keon Rockets. Kimball Ward, the referee, Mario Parry, Tyra Wilkinson, the assistants. Shanda Wilkinson, the fourth. Kendria Tully will be the referee assessor. On Saturday, we're going to have a doubleheader. First game at 6 p.m. SL Horsford's St. Paul's United coming up against Trafalgar South Stars. David Phipps will carry the whistle. Johan Newkirk and Lenoy Paris will be his assistants. Jody Walters, the fourth. And Troy Biff Mills is the referee assessor. In the feature game, Skelett Garden Hotspurs, they really lead some lightning and some sparks. Coming up against Seoul Island Otto Connery at 8 p.m. Shanda Wilkinson in the middle, Austin Bat, Javian Archibald on the lines. Hakeem Harvey, the fourth official, Lloyd Rouse, the assessor. And Sunday 14th, we're going to have another doubleheader of 5 p.m. It will be Development Bank St. Peter's taking on Hot Springs Bath United. Kareem Benjamin, the referee. Kenwin Collins, Tyra Wilkinson, the assistants. Reginald Gums, the fourth. Garfield Virgo, the referee assessor. And at 7 p.m., Honda Newtown United versus MFSCR United Old Road Jets. Sanchez Bass, the referee. Janiqua Matthew and Jalen Rouse, the assistants, as well as Shanda Wilkinson, the fourth official. Kenny Martin, the referee assessor. And in terms of how things are looking there in the Premier Division, let me give you the point standing, what we have here so far. And things are heating up. Things are looking good. They're not looking good for Trafalgar South Stars. They've played a half dozen matches and they have an excellent record of losing all 6. Perfect record. They've lost all 6. So they're yet to get a point. They are on a coma, as we normally say. Skelett Garden Hotspurs. If there were 2 teams were to be relegated today or tomorrow, Skelett Garden Hotspurs would be the other. All teams have played 6 matches. Skelett Garden Hotspurs, they've won 1, they've drawn 1, they have 4 matches. They're in 9th position. 8th position, well, 7 and 8, we have 2 teams. DB Development Bank, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Peter's, They've won 2, lost 1, drawn 3. They have 7 points. They have a goal difference of -3. They've scored 8 and given up 11. In 7th, we have Sol Island Otto Connery, 7 points as well. However, they have a goal difference of 5. They've scored 10. They've given up 5. 6th, Hot Springs Bath United, looking good in the middle of the table, 9 points. Same points as Rams Village Superstars in 5th. However, Bath United, they have a goal difference of -1, scored 7, giving up 8. Rams Village Superstars in 5th, just outside the Final Four. If the Final Four were to happen today or tomorrow, Rams Village Superstars, their goose get cooked because the defending champions wouldn't be in there. But hey, it's early days yet. We're 2/3 of the way into the first round, and we still have a whole of the second round. So as it is, we have, 6 gone, 3 to come, 9 to come, 12 left. A lot of football still to be played. Rams Village Superstars, they've won 3, they've drawn 3, and they're on a comeback trail actually. And they have 9 points, a goal difference of 6. They've scored 14 and they've given up 8. In terms of the top 4, Honda, Newtown United, 4th and 10 points. Same with Old Road Jets, but an inferior goal difference is Newtown. They have a goal difference of 2. They've won 3, lost 1, drawn 2. They've scored 5. They've scored 7. They've given up 5. Old Road in 3rd, same 10 points. They've won 2, drawn 4, lost. They haven't lost any matches as yet. Wow. One of 3 teams not to have lost a match as yet. And they have 10 points. Goal difference of 5. They've scored 11. They've given up 6. And the second place, Flo-Forgy Keon Rockets, the second of 3 teams not to have lost a match as yet. They have 12 points. They've won 3. They've drawn 3. So they're yet to lose a match. Flo-Forgy Keon Rockets, goal difference of 5. They've scored 11, given up 6. And out front, looking high and mighty. Well, up to the last match, they had a perfect record of all victories. But they're the 3rd and final team not to have lost a match as yet. We have winning 5, drawing 1. They're on 16 points, SL Hartsford St. Paul's United. And last year, well, it was Keon, I think, leading at the end of the first round. St. Paul's came back second round and went to the top, went into the finals, and they won the first game, but they had no staying power. They couldn't hold on. And having won 5, drawn 1, they have a goal difference of 11. Magnificent goal difference. The closest to them, a goal difference of 6, Rams Village Superstars down in the 5th position. They've scored 13 goals and given up 2. These guys at SL Hartsford St. Paul's United love scoring, boy. They are very prolific. As a matter of fact, Rams Village Superstars the most prolific team in terms of scoring. They have scored 14, St. Paul's 13. But St. Paul's stingy bad, man. They only give up 2 goals. Only 2 goals they've given up so far. And things are looking nice and dandy and rosy for them. But hey, the race ain't for the swift, but it's who endureth to the end. We're going to have to wait and see how that works out. And if we take a peek down at the first division in the last round of matches, that would have been from Tuesday 2nd. Well, some matches are being played today, actually. And again, the first division matches, these are being played generally up at the Technical Center, National Bank Technical Center, St. Peter's. Davis Construction, Lodge Patriots, and the Connery Fireballs locking horns 1-1 at halftime, but not being able to hold on. Lodge Patriots, Davis Construction, Lodge Patriots, they were blown away 5-1 by Connery. The lone goal for Lodge came in the 34th minute to equalize after Khalif Nisbet of Fireballs had opened the scoring in the 17th minute. Leslie and Descent, he had a brace in the 59th and the 66th minute. Deja Berridge, he put a bulge in the old onion bag in the 47th minute, and ID Keynes sealing things in the 76th minute. Hey, I've been raving about red cards. And generally, most games, almost all the games, you have some yellow cards happening. But no cards at all were shown in this match. So perhaps the SKNFA, they need to give these two teams some sort of prize of some sort, encouraging fair play. But then again, the referee ought to have been given a lot of credit for the management of the game. Zoyan Brown, I'm not going to tell you he's from SP where the best be. No, I'm not going to tell you that at all. But he was the referee. Renick Bartlett, a youngster just coming up. Alexis Joseph, former FIFA official. They were the assistants. And Jody Walters, a young referee coming up. Jason McCoy out of Newtown, he was the general coordinator. So Zoyan as the referee has to be complimented. On Wednesday, 3rd April, Fast Cash Saddlers United, they were doing a lot of transactions all over Molineux FC. 4-0 halftime, 6-0 halftime, Fast Cash Saddlers. Saeed Hanley in the 21st, and Dickwan Watley in the 19th, but Dickwan had a brace in the 49th as well. Estevan Barnes, 42nd minute. Junique Eddy, 45th. Kurt Mills, 72nd. Way to go, Mills. He got to be a family of mine. I think my father had family all over the country, originally from Nevis, Brickhill to be exact. And I think I have to perhaps go and have a conversation with him, give him a little coaching, and tell him, well, hey, let's get things on a little better. And we have a lot of red cards, yellow cards here. And the second forces, Security Forces United versus Mantab. We got to keep an eye on Security Forces United. Something really happening. They were relegated last year, but these guys are dominating. 4-1 halftime in their favor, 7-2 at the end of the game. And we had Mantab scoring first in the 22nd minute. Kareem Burrell, he had the first of his hat-trick in the 31st to level things up. And then the go-ahead goal was by David Joseph in the 34th. Evansley Foy in the 38th. And just before halftime, Kareem Burrell had the second of his hat-trick in the 44th. When they came back second half, he had the third of his hat-trick in the 51st minute. Dion Dolphin in the 80th and Roy Ruiz in the 89th minute. Jermaine Carey, he had the second goal for Mantab. And where are we? They got to the points table now. What is happening in the first division? All teams have played 5 matches so far. And looking at the bottom, Lodge Patriots, they have a perfect record. Perfectly losing all 5 matches. So they are on a comb yet to get a point. And we ain't got on a relegation system in the Division 1. You come last, you come last. Once ago, we had 3 divisions. First division, second division, third division. And you had relegation going up and down, but now we only have 2 divisions. KFC Trinity Challengers, they have just 1 drawn match from their 5. They have a goal difference of negative 29. These guys leaking bad at the back, boy. They've scored 5, giving up 34. Wow, that's a lot of goals to give up in 5 matches. Rivers of Living Water, they also on 1 point, drawing 1 match, losing 4. They have a goal difference of negative 25, minus 25. They've scored 4, giving up 29. Interesting, these 3 teams, Rivers of Living Water, KFC Trinity Challengers, Lodge Patriots, they have experienced Premier Division football in the past. And the 3 of them find themselves at the bottom of the table. 8, 9, and 10. In 7th position, Molineux. They've never ever been to the... Hold on, Biff, you sure what you're saying? Well, in my lifetime, they've never been to the Premier Division. I don't know if before my time. However, they are in 7th, and they started off this season with a ruckus. They have 4 points, winning 1, drawing 1, losing 3. Mantab, they lost out last year, and that was tough, and I'll say it. I don't believe in playing off the ninth place team, play off the second place team, and who win go premier and who lose stay down. I don't believe in that at all. I consider it, that's my personal view, Troy Biff Mills. I consider that rubbish. I consider that garbage. I believe if you say 2 teams going up, 2 teams coming down, end the story. If you want 3 teams going up, the bottom 3 teams go down, the bottom 3 teams come up, so be it. And it hurts me because last year, and this is a very good example, Spurs, they would have been in the third to last position. Spurs lost the game by default in the Premier Division and heard of for decades. I don't know when last that happened. That was before we were so organized in the football, I believe. I'm subject to correction. But Spurs lost by default. I can't remember how many points they got. That was easy to find out. Mantab had they didn't have a perfect record. I think they draw 1 or 2 games. But they didn't lose any games at all last season in the first division. And the game to decide whether they go up or not, they lost the game to Spurs. And they stayed on in the second division. And it is Spurs up in the Premier and Spurs struggling. But anyway, we're going to see how it works out. Mantab in 6, 8 points. Winning 2, drawing 2, losing 1. A goal difference of 3. Connery Fireballs International. I don't think these have ever tasted Premier Division action, but they're looking good in 5th. 9 points, winning 3, not drawing any, losing 2, a goal difference of 1. Sadlers United, they would have come down last season. They are in 4th on 9 points as well, winning 3, drawing 2. They have a goal difference of 17. They've been quite prolific with goals, scoring 22, only giving up 5. Transglobal DB Engineering Eagles. They beat up there at least twice in the Premier Division. They are 3rd and they're looking good. 11 points, winning 3, drawing 2. They are one of 3 teams yet to lose a point. And they have a goal difference of 19, winning 23, scoring 23, giving up 4. Security Forces FC, the second of 3 teams to come down. Last year, second with 13 points, 2 points off the pace. DB Eagles, 2 points in the back. In 3rd, Sadlers, 2 points. Sadlers and Connery, 2 points further down in 4th. Security Forces winning 4, drawing 1. Not losing any. The second of 3 teams not to have lost a match as yet. 13 points. They have a healthy goal difference of 19, scoring 25, giving up 6. And something I keep with Security Forces because they are the most prolific scoring team. Scoring 25. They score 23. Sadlers score 22. So these guys, I don't know. Maybe they imported strikers this season. I don't know. But Security Forces looking good. 13 in 2nd. And the 3rd and final team, not having lost the matches yet, but also relegated from the Premier Division last season. Jones Group, Sandy Point, SP, where the best be. And right now, they seem to be where the best be. But hey, this is early days yet. 10 teams, they have 18 matches to play. So another 13 to go. The race in for the swift, but who endure it to the end. So they have 15 points, a perfect record, winning all 5 games. A goal difference of 17, scoring 19, giving up 2. Not as prolific as Security Forces, DB, and Sadlers. But hey, you win the game 1-0 and you win all your games 1-0. That means you win. Nobody beat you. So they are looking good, Jones Group, Sandy Point. And if we take a look in terms of what is going to be happening with them and their fixtures, they actually have games coming up today. Tuesday the 9th, Division 1. And all these games are being played at the Technical Center. Mantab versus Connery Fireball International. That game started at 6. So we have a matter of 17 minutes plus referee's time in that game. David Phipps, the referee. Tyra Wilkinson, Rennick Bartlett, the assistants. Kareem Benjamin, the 4th. And in the second of the doubleheader at 8 p.m., KFC Trinity Challengers United will be coming up against Security Forces United. Jody Walters in the middle. Jaden Mouse, Janico Matthew on the line. Zoe Brown the 4th. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 10th, we're going to have just one game. Molyneux versus 607 Construction Lodge Patriots at 7 p.m. Shanda Wilkinson carries the whistle. Jevian Archibald, Michaela Ode in her assistant. Sanchez Bass, the 4th official. And then on Thursday, April the 11th, we're going to have another double header at 6 p.m. Rivers of Living Water coming up against Fast Cash Saddlers United. Zoe Brown in the middle. Austin Batt, Kenwin Collins on the line. Michaela Dillian Sergio, the 4th official, with TGE Dietbe Trans Global Engineering Dietbe Eagles. Locking Horns with the leaders, Jones Group Sandy Point at 8 p.m. Kareem Benjamin in the middle, Tyra Wilkinson, Janico Matthew, and Reginald Gums, the 4th official. So that's a lot of football action happening here in St. Kitts. And guess what? Female football going to be starting just now. But stick and stay. Don't go away. We'll be right back with you as we already have our first set of guests in the studios. We have the St. Kitts Yacht Association. And I'm going to go over and say hi, hello, make sure they're comfortable, make sure they have their coffee. No girls in it. Jamster, my production manager, he'll have to work on that a little later down. But stick and stay, don't go away. We will be right back. Thank you, thank you. Welcome back to On the Ball here at WinFM 98.9 with me, Troy Biff Mills, your host, and it's indeed a pleasure having you here with us tonight. We have a first set of guests in the studio, and I remind you the second set of guests is the Leeward Islands under 15 vice captain cricket, LaShawn Bergen. His coach, Jay Taylor, is going to be here, and his mom, Tremesia Rollins. And they're going to be here around 7:45 or thereabout, 8 o'clock perhaps. And we're going to be talking some cricket then. But right now, we're going to go to the seawater. A lot of people fear the seawater for green death. But the seawater is a nice thing, extremely therapeutic. And why under the water is a very beautiful thing. And we remind you that we're carrying this program live on Facebook, WinFM's Facebook page, and also WinFM's YouTube channel. So you could tune in, look at us, see what's happening, and of course, call in 466-0989 at any point. You can call 466-0989 or 662-0989. Now you could WhatsApp me, Troy Biff Mills, 668-2055, and have some discussions. And we are still looking at sponsor for On the Ball here to WinFM 98.9. We encourage you, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor in whole or in part, give us a call, 466-9586, and our marketing department will certainly be glad to work out a sponsorship package with you, or you can contact me, 668-2055, and we'll get that work out. Right now, let's go straight to Studio 2. It's unfortunate because we only got two guys. We don't have any ladies in here. Oh. And not that they're the most beautiful gentlemen in the world, but handsome gentlemen. But anyway, gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to On the Ball here at WinFM 98.9.
Good evening, Troy. How are you doing?
I'm blessed, highly favored, giving thanks. What about you?
I am blessed, highly favored, and always giving thanks.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
I thought your guest was shy, man.
We are shy.
And, folks, who are you guys? Tell us about you, please.
All right, well, my name is Nicky Rogers. I'm the Commodore for the St. Kitts Yacht Club. This is my first time as the Commodore, and it's a wonderful privilege, and I'm here to talk about sailing and our club here on St. Kitts over at Frigate Bay, and also let the general public know about events and activities that we're going to be having throughout the rest of the year.
Wonderful.
My name is Nicholas Dupre. I'm the past Commodore of the St. Kitts Yacht Club. This year I'm the head of the St. Kitts Nevis Sailing Association. So the St. Kitts Yacht Club works together with the Nevis Aquatic Sailing Centre to make up the Sailing Association. So this year I'm on that board. We're both also instructors, so we're heavily involved in the day-to-day running of the clubs and the teaching.
So we have the present Commodore, and congratulations to you. And
Thank you.
Is it the immediate past Commodore?
Yes,
Or
correct.
present and past?
Yes.
And it looked like you guys have a good thing going.
Yes.
So how did you become the Commodore, Nikhil?
Well, because of my good looks, purely because of that.
Well, I would have never guessed.
No, I've been a part of the club for the past 6 or 7 years, and I've been under the watch. I've been watching the past Commodore Nicholas, and seeing how he operates and supporting him in many of the decisions he made. Not all, but most. And he looked at me and said, "Nick, it's time." And I said, "Yeah, okay. Well, I got to step up then."
So
however, there was we have a general election every year, and as I said, I've been a part of the club, supporting and contributing over the years, and the board members saw it fit that I was suitable to take the helm and guide the ship this year.
So there's an election process.
Yes.
And how long is your term of office for?
12 months.
12 months?
Yes.
No, man, something wrong with that. By the time you go around and introduce yourself, it's time for elections again.
That's how it is.
Well, you can be renominated too. So.
Yes.
Is there any limit? You can only be renominated twice, 3 times.
Within the St. Kitts Club, I don't think there's a limit. When it comes to associations, I think there is a limit for how many times you get.
There's 2 years for the St. Kitts Nevis Sailing Association, of which we're modeled off of but I think it's like 2 years as well, or something like this.
Stand corrected. 2 years.
Most national associations, I think they're leaning towards the quadrennial 4 years, which is in keeping with, say, the FIFA World Cup, which is every 4 years, or the Olympics, which is every 4 years. They have international pairing. Once you have that international universal competition.
Right.
Because the thinking is, if you didn't take us there, step aside and give somebody else a chance, or you may get lucky and have a second, third, fourth chance,
Right.
etc., etc. So you're in. And when I heard Commodores, I started thinking Lionel Richie and the Commodores. And I know you fancy yourself as a musician, a guitarist, a soca artist, but I haven't seen you or heard you for
Quite a while.
quite a while.
I have a song. Hopefully you have it. It's called My Home SK, and I did it last year for Independence. But I digress.
Okay, then fine.
But the children do appreciate when we have a warm-up song in the morning. We have a little rule song that was composed by Jazzy in Nevis, as one of the fathers of one of our sailors in Nevis. And so it's always great when he gets out the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
And so we combine a little singing with sailing, which is always nice.
Yeah.
It's all about fun. And you have an activity going on now. Tell us about it.
Yes, presently we are about midweek into our Easter camp for 2024. We have about 30 kids who are attending the Easter camp. They started on Monday from the 8th of April to the 12th of April. And today we actually did a visit and a tour of the Coast Guard headquarters, which was really nice, very informative. So we saw how the kids got to get to see how the surface level, how Coast Guard operates, the offices, the canteens. We went on the boats. It was a dry dock boat, but they did explain that it was similar to the ones that's on the water. But we were just, the goal is basic to expose the kids here on St. Kitts and Nevis as well to the opportunities, the marine opportunities, which isn't that well spoken about in the general public. Whether you're going to become a captain or you're going to become a someone involved in Coast Guard or a pilot. Just the other day, for one of the cruise ships that came in, it was a Navision who captained it in at the Symphony of the Seas. I don't remember which one it was, but that was a youth from. Well, he was a youth from Nevis, I think he was from, and now he sailed a cruise ship in, and he's third in command on the ship, I believe.
Yeah,
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, we want to hear more kids saying, "Hey, I want to grow up to be a captain." You don't hear about that enough. So,
And I suspect from that visit today, children would have gone home telling their parents, "Hey, I like this, I want to be that." And they may very well work and end up being that in the end.
Right. There's so many opportunities, and it's an untapped area. But the part of the motto for the club is basically to foster aquatic activities, be it sailing, motoring, kayaking, swimming, but most importantly, I think one of the main things that we focus on is sport sailing, and just becoming very efficient and in tune to the intricacies of setting sail on the seven seas or the Caribbean seas.
I realize you would have mentioned everything above water, but what about beneath, diving element?
Well, that's not something we do cover. But just to go back onto what Nick was saying, so a lot of us think about sailing as a kind of recreational tourist activity. And, if you go to Antigua, they have a lot of Antiguans who are competing in the Olympics in sailing. So there's no reason. We have the same playground right in front of our shores, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be giving Antigua a good run for their money. So it's to emphasize that sport opportunity as well.
But what is stopping us from getting to that level of Olympics in the sailing as Antigua?
We're just more in our infancy. Like, they've been doing this historically. They have some protected harbors. So historically, they have a lot more history in sailing, and so they're on their 50th anniversary of their regattas, whereas we just have a handful of boats. But we got to start somewhere, and we've been making good progress. We have some athletes competing regionally now, so we're on the right plan. And
I mentioned diving and you mentioned Coast Guard. I know as recently as a couple of weeks ago, the St. Kitts and Nevis Coast Guard, they celebrated a historic moment because the first female diver was certified by the RSS.
We met her today.
You met her today?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to tell you guys she's from SP where the best be. I'm not going to tell you guys that at all. Yes, but we say congratulations to her and her family. They're extremely proud, and the community very proud. And congratulations to the St. Kitts and the Nevis program.
Right, and then to add to what you're saying, we are making a stronger effort to expose sailing to the general public. Just on Easter Monday, we sailed 2 dinghy sailboats over to Bastia Harbor area, right out front where they had the Bastia Aquatic event. We took some kids out. Nicholas took some kids out who were on the shore, took them out for sailing on the boats, and we gave 2 vouchers, 2 adult sail lessons, and also 2 kids who are at the camp right now were also winners, or someone was a winner at that event at Bastia who received the voucher that we gave out. So we're really trying to reach out to deep into all over the island to expose people to the opportunities that's right here, and that's available for all of us.
That is indeed an excellent idea. I like that. I have a little idea about swimming. My mom was one of the persons I couldn't go down the bay. We used to have sheep and goats and pigs and things like that. And I came up in the year where you had to go look your hog meat and your grass for your sheep and your goat. So I used to scout out and find out where fields are with a lot of grass. So when I go, and some of the times I had to go before school, but like in the summer holidays and on the weekends, I go to these places. Well, I still can't sprint fast. Maybe I never used to run so fast. Then I cut the grass them quick, tie them up, and bring them on the path close to home. I run go down the bay, have a little swim, and run back up, pick up the grass, and head home. The thing is, some of the times they used to tell me, Biff, your mother coming. And I had to take the long way home. And it would have been licks when I reached home, but it was all fun because I still went back the next time.
Right.
And you mentioned 30 children. How many boys, girls, the age group?
It's very, very equally mixed between boys and girls. The age range is from 5 up to 17. 5 up to 17. So we have them in the individual groups of 6 and 8. So we could have them, the skill set and the maturity level more grouped together so we could teach at that level adequately.
You mentioned 30. How much were you originally planning for?
We were hoping to get to 30. 30 was
that's your cap?
Yeah.
Okay, suppose there were 1 or 2 coming after you. Would have told them, hey, you missed the boat?
Yeah, well, we have to keep it safe, and we have to keep the numbers ratio of instructors to kids right. So we want to make sure that we're giving them good value. And to add to your thing about what we don't really do anything under the water, but part of what we do for the camps is appreciating the whole environment. So there is one of the things activities that one of the groups do will be about marine conservation and stuff like that too. So they will get to get a little appreciation of the stuff on the water and why we need to protect it and not pollute the waters and stuff like that. And then, like, to emphasize your point on swimming, one of the groups will be doing swimming,
right.
and then there'll be a a group on sailing, and then we have other alternative activities which we'll mix in throughout the week.
Right. Yeah, and that's very important what you said. I remember it made me reflect on some younger days of mine. I grew up in Lamberts, and I remember one occasion my brother and I went up to the Lamberts estate, and the estates had these
That's where the beach is?
No,
Oh, just
beach.
checking.
This is going back to the swimming thing. So my brother and I went up to the estate, and the estates had these big pools for the taking water to get fire out, or whatever the case is. And my mother had a sister, this is going way back, this is Bellman Farm now, who had drowned in one of those tanks. So now when she got wind that we went up there to fish, when we was home, it was not pot spoon. So these camps are very important because we try to sensitize the kids to being underwater and how to confidently swim and float and all these different things, because this is incorporated into our schematics. We're teaching them how to get competent underwater with swimming and floating and all that. And then on top of that, we teach them how to sail as well. There's 3 persons who sail, 4 persons who sail who were on the cross channel swim on Saturday. Who we teach sailing to, young kids. These are kids under 12 years old. So the sailing and swimming is very intertwined. But we are about sailing, but we make sure to the kids who we teach to sail, they learn swimming as well. They get confident and competent swimmers, become competent swimmers as well. So it's very well ingrained in our system.
Is this the first time you're having this particular camp?
No.
How long has it been going?
We've been going in camps maybe 10 years, but they've been smaller. They started out with little groups of 10, and we as the instructor pool has grown, now we can manage more kids, And it used to be that we would do one program in St. Kitts or Nevis, and now there's enough instructors both sides. And one of the beauties of being somebody who's comfortable on the water is that we can actually connect with Nevis very easily. We can sail over, do a sailing lesson, sail back. One of the instructors one of our swimming instructors, we go and pick them up in the morning on the boat and bring them over, and then they teach for the day. So it connects us a little bit. So
Is this camp happening simultaneously in Nevis, or is just St. Kitts?
This camp is St. Kitts camp, St. Kitts Yacht Club camp, Easter camp for kids 5 to 17. And next week, Nevis will be having their camp from, this next week, Monday to Friday.
The Nevis Sailing Association?
Nevis Aquatic Sailing Center.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned instructors. How many instructors do you have in St. Kitts? How many do you have in Nevis?
At the moment, we have two lead sailing instructors and about 4 assistant sailing instructors. So this is a call for anybody who's interested in becoming a sailing instructor. This is something that we want to grow, the number of instructors here. So we will be having instructor training sessions in the month of May.
Yeah.
So reach out to the clubs. We over at Frigate Bay and they're also at Owali at Nevis.
So this will be an official training program. So World Sailing is like the FIFA of sailing. And so we've reached out to them, and we're still working out the dates, but we're hoping that they will send an instructor down. So this will be the week after Music Festival. And this would be the week after Music Festival, and then leading into our dinghy championship, which is sort of our ranking regatta, which we use to determine who we're going to sponsor to go away to regional competitions. So to make it fair, it's between St. Kitts and Nevis. We alternate 1 year in St. Kitts, 1 year in Nevis. And this year is our chance to host it. So the 6th and 7th of July? Yeah, 6th and 7th of July, that weekend.
Let me back check. Go ahead, continue.
That would be after Music Festival.
Yeah, so we have Music Festival, and then we hopefully be doing a training session throughout the week after for the instructors, leading into the competition the week after. And then over the next couple of months, we would then have our summer camps in St. Kitts and Nevis. So it's a good chance if people want to come and be an instructor, then they would lead straight into the competition and straight into a summer job, which could then lead to something they might want to get into long term.
Yeah, but we also thinking about having some instructor training lessons just with us teaching persons. That would get people up to speed. So when like an international person comes, like they already know what A from B is.
You mentioned something about a dinghy challenge.
Dinghy championship.
Dinghy championship.
So this is just sailing terms for like small boats.
So it's not literally a rubber dinghy.
No, yeah. So
I mean,
when we say dinghy, we think like an inflatable.
Yeah.
But dinghy really means like small boat.
Oh, okay.
So all of the little boats that you see on the beach, like people might be more familiar with the Hobie Cats, but we have also more competition-based boats and boats for really small kids that are like the size of a bathtub. So these are all dinghies as opposed to big yachts, which have a keel and stay out on the water.
Any prerequisites to becoming an instructor? Is it a swimming instructor or sailing instructor? Sailing. Any prerequisites?
Well, it's a very technique-based sport, so I guess it's much easier to turn somebody who already knows how to sail into an instructor. So we would like people who want to be an instructor to come and get involved and volunteer and see how the program runs and pick up as much as they can before the instructor comes down, rather than just show up for the training. But equally, we understand that sailing is a less popular sport. And so if there's people from other sporting backgrounds who already know how to coach and how to teach, then we can also, that's also a very important part of being an instructor. Then you can add the skills to it.
So somebody like me, the only sailing I do is when I have an empty ice cream kit in a pot of water and I go pushing it around and tweeting. It's a hopeless cause for me.
No, it's not hope. No. See, with you, I would encourage you to come and just start learning how to sail. So that would be the first step for anyone. Just come, as I said, Nevis and St. Kitts, wherever you are listening right now. You just Owali or Frigate Bay. You come, you start to learn sailing. We do Saturday sailing lessons and Sunday sailing lessons in Nevis. Come and you start to learn to sail. And if you're interested, if it pulls you, then the doors are open for you to become an instructor. So there's no limitations to who you are or where you're starting from, but everybody has to start somewhere.
You're listening to On the Ball here at Win FM 98.9. I am Troy Biff Mills. We have live in studio with us Mr. Nikhil Rogers, Commodore of the St. Kitts Yacht Club, and the immediate past Commodore Nicholas Dupree, who is the president of the St. Kitts Sailing Association.
St. Kitts Nevis.
St. Kitts and Nevis Sailing Association. Yeah. And we are talking sailing. 466-0989 is the number to call in case you want to call in, ask a question, seek some clarifications, commend these gentlemen on the wonderful job they are doing here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Or anything you would want to suggest, you can actually call and do that. How many times a year do you have this camp, or will you be having this camp?
Well, Easter camp is just April, usually the first or the second week after vacation for kids. Then we have a summer camp, and in the summer camp but the Easter camp is more aquatic, so we're giving them a sample of everything: the swimming, the sailing. We're showing them different beach games to encourage them to get outside and be in the sun and having fun. Marine biology, Coast Guard, and different things. The summer camp will be similar. We'll try to find different spices to put in there. But in the summer camp, we might choose it'll be 2 weeks, and usually one of the week is pure sailing, and we try to harness persons who have a more competitive spirit. So with sailing, we encourage both the leisurely sailing, just getting on a dinghy sailboat and just enjoying being on the water and sailing around on the coast, seeing turtles and different fish and what's not, even fishing off your sailboat. And we also find the persons who have that competitive spirit and push them towards, representing the St. Kitts and Nevis out in the other Caribbean islands. I last year went and represented St. Kitts and Nevis in Martinique, sailing the Ilka, the laser sailing boat. And that was my first experience competing. And, I did good enough for the first time. But it's something that I picked up a lot from competing against, especially other islands, the Antiguans, the Trinidadians, the persons from St. Martin. And as these islands have had a longer history in these things, so they were a bit more advanced when it comes to the skill sets and what they learned early on. But getting more and more people involved is what's going to help get the ball rolling even faster. It's a snowball effect. So we're really trying to garner persons who have that inert instinct and want to learn to sail. Because many of us, going back to the sugar cane times, I was intrigued to find out that the reason why racing sailboats is very popular in Anguilla was because many of us, St. Kitts and Anguillans, used to go to Dominican Republic to cut cane. And they would, on the way back now, when cane season was done, they would be sailing back. And these captains on the sailboats would be racing back to Anguilla. And that's one reason they kept that tradition up. But we never fostered that. But so now once again, these are small things that you look back in history, and ripples create the present day. So, we want to rise above the tide here in St. Kitts and Nevis with sailing.
I recall way back when, on the Easter weekend in Sandy Point, we used to have a greasy pole thing. The rock is still there with the two attachments for the pole to go out. And there used to be some fishing boat races from Sandy Point to, I don't know, the point up Brimstone Hill and back. I'm not certain. But or go down to somewhere down near station, come back and things like that. And so we have always had that inclination for racing on the sea. We, however, have a message from WhatsApp, and I thank the person for sending it in. Any plans for eventually producing competitive swimmers or sailors, for example, regional competitions and Olympics, and what time frame in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? And what about scholarships overseas?
It's a tough question. Yeah.
So we're always looking for budding athletes to compete and represent. We need to get enough of a pool of sailors that people, you have to compete with somebody. Unlike a track event or something like that, where you can just look at your time and say, okay, I came faster. It's a kind of dynamic environment where the wind might be different, so you can't just look at your speed. You need a pool of people who are competitive in order to engage the competitive side. So we're always looking. We do have a couple of youths who have done really well competing in St. Martin and St. Martin, St. Bart's,
Martinique was one.
Martinique, Antigua. So the competitions that we try to hit, one of them is a youth competition in St. Martin, which is a qualifier for going to a World Games in the Optimist class, which is a small boat. So there is the opportunity to compete. Like with any sport, you got to start young if you want to really be competitive on a world stage. So we're still planting the seed and growing the foundations.
And we are starting to build some connections with other sailing institutions outside of St. Kitts and in the U.S. and what's not. And that is a conversation about scholarships. That's a conversation that's going on presently. So it's very like early infancy. Once again, if you come and join the club, it's a membership club. It's non-profit, so you come and join us and support and help us to grow. It's a snowball because we need, as Nick was saying, it's not just track and field where you compete against your own time. You're competing against skill set. And so if you sail today and you did a time of 2 minutes to do something, tomorrow the waves are not the same, the wind isn't the same. So you have to be able, it's a very dynamic racing event. And you need to race against other persons to stretch your ability and ability to look at the clouds or the waves and the wind and read them so you could adjust your sail and adjust how the boat tilts and compete and be faster than the next person.
Well, for this afternoon, there have been a lot of heavy clouds over Bastille and drifting in the rural regions, especially the west. The east, sorry. So you guys have had a training to look at it and suggest that it's not a good day for sailing or whatever the case is?
Today's a lovely day for sailing. What are you talking about? Even when just before hurricane hit, that's a good time to go and sail. Just joking with that. Just joking.
Oh, you're frightened.
But these are things that these young sailors, these 5 and 10 and 15-year-olds are taught. They're taught how to read the water, how to read the wind, how to read the clouds. If they're going to be a gust over there or going to be flat water over here. So we're basically teaching these kids how to be independent, how to be a meteorologist, how to read the weather, how to be seamanship. They could tie knots. They could fix things underwater by themselves. As many kids, when I started to be an instructor, I found that the biggest challenge wasn't just teaching them, but just getting them to be self-sufficient. Because when we train them, they're going to be on a dinghy and they're going to be out by themselves. So and many kids have this attachment thing that happens, especially with their parents. So I, as an instructor, have to teach these kids, how to be sufficient and independent and figure things out, critical thinkers. So it's not just about jumping on a boat and pulling a line and sail and water splash and rudder push. It's so many dynamic things that these kids learn when they go and become a sailor. And it starts to show in the schoolwork, it starts to show with the friend circles, and it starts to show around the families at home as well. Because it's a very big molding factor, because you're on a boat by yourself. Yes. Especially when you get to the competitive level. You have to be tactical and strategic. It's chess game out on the water. And you can't just sit in your boat, because if you sit in your boat and do nothing, you just drift away with the current. So it's very dynamic, and it teaches kids so much in many aspects of life. So that's one thing, one reason why I fell in love with it too. And it's the wind. It's not an engine you just turning and the gas going. You actually got to read the wind and read your sail and tweak things to get the most out of it. Just an inch, because the person who you're racing against got the same boat as you. They're getting the same wind as you. They're in the same water as you. So you got to figure out how to read the wind and read the waves and know how to adjust your boat.
And maneuver them.
Right. Strategic and yeah.
I like there's a type of racing where you see boats, they want to go so, but they're heading so.
Right.
And they are heading so. And there's another type of racing where everybody sit down on this side, and then it comes a point that everybody rush over and sit down on the other side. Yes. I find it funny, but I could understand the physics in it. But so how, when it comes to the international racing, are there age categories like football or in cricket on the 15, on the 19, on the 17, etc.?
Yes.
Senior, juniors? What are these categories? You could give us an idea?
In some of the categories, like the laser is a very popular international sailing dinghy. There's under 14, which they call it Ilka 4, and then there's the Ilka 6, which is under 18 for boys, but open for women. And then there's Ilka 7, which is open for men. So you could be as young as you want to be, but it's wide open for males. The females end off at open for Ilka 6. So there's different categories. Even with the smaller boats, they call them green fleet, orange fleet, and blue fleet. But I think that one is more based on skill set than age.
But Nick has been competing in laser sailing, so he's very on the laser path. But to answer your question too, there's in the sport of sailing, there's 8 classes of boats. So there's boats that are designed for people who are small and agile, who work as a team. There's boats that are designed for individuals. So it's not really about the age categories. It's about which type of boat you're going to race in. So there's a certain class of boat for kids. And then once they get to about 13, 14 years old, that's the age. But typically it's about their body size. They grow out of that boat, they become too big for it, and then they go into the next size of boat. And then there's 8 different types. Kiteboarding is a class of sailing that is in the Olympics now. Windsurfing. There's double-handed boats, which are 2 people working together as a team. There's single-handed. And then there's different types of boats, which are monohulls, which is like a single floating piece in the water that you have to lean more. And then there's ones that are like catamarans that are racing. So it's about picking which class of boat you're going to compete in.
Yeah. The English have a tradition, I think, where Oxford University and Cambridge University have this rowing competition going on for the last 200 years between them. They have whether they're 4 rows or 8 or whatever it is. And I think rowing is a part of the Olympics. Are you thinking about having that in your program at any point?
Not really. So those type of rowing sports are generally done on on rivers and flat water. So the type of environment we have here in St. Kitts is more open water. So it will more be wind orientated.
How could people contact you who are interested? Like I have my 3-year-old daughter over in Cairn and my 16-year-old daughter down in Nevis. How could they contact you guys to get involved in the sailing and your activities?
They can either check us out on Facebook and send a message there. We have the social media feeds, St. Kitts Yacht Club on Facebook and St. Kitts Yacht Club for Instagram. We also could email us at skyachtclub@gmail.com. And when it comes to numbers, you could contact me at 767-5522 or Nicholas at
765-4246. The website is currently being redone for the St. Kitts Yacht Club, but if you look up the sknsa.com, the St. Kitts Nevis Sailing Association, that will give you a good feel for what we're doing both in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Any final words you would want to share with your listeners before you leave?
Would you like to learn to sail?
I'll probably got to fit that in between the football and the cricket and the table tennis. And of course the ladies.
Final words. Want to say to everyone who's listening, thanks for listening onto Win FM and tuning in during this episode with the St. Kitts Yacht Club. We do hope to see some of you guys come out and learn to sail and experience the waters that we have literally surrounding all of us, because all of us have a beachfront residence here on St. Kitts, and I would like to see more persons come out and enjoy the waters, sailing and swimming with us.
Yeah, I would say there's a very big playground right there in front of us. We have more playground on the water than we do on the land. So come and enjoy, and we have the skills to teach us to feel confident out there. And you never know, you might be a budding sailing superstar. So.
And just to wrap it up, some plugs. The club has some beach Tai Chi lessons that happens at Frigate Bay in the morning, so you guys could...
Tai Chi, that's a type of food?
No. But it sounds good though. Tai Chi is a type of relaxing yoga movements that helps to relax you, meditation. We have lessons like that in the mornings. I think it's Tuesdays and Thursdays at Frigate Bay, so you guys could come and join. Also, the summer camp is going to be from the 15th to the 19th of July. So if anybody listening in high school, primary school, you guys could come and join the summer camp. It's always lots of fun. And other than that, we have regular Saturday classes from 2 to 5 for adults and kids.
So every Saturday afternoon on Frigate Bay Beach.
Give us the
From
numbers
2 to
again to
5.
call to join these classes or the summer camp.
767-5522 and
765-4246.
just check out the social media feeds and send a message there as well.
St. Kitts Yacht Club.
Nikhil and
Nick Dupre.
Nick
Nick and Nick.
Nick and
Easy.
Nick, yeah. We thank you for being with us here on the ball. We congratulate you on the programs that you have been having, because way back when, we know times develop, and way back when we would have been hearing the swimming and the aquatic event would have been all we're hearing about the sea, and we've been having a lot of it happening, and it's going to be growing, and it's only a matter of time before we see people from St. Kitts and Nevis, sailors, competing in the Olympics and other regional and international events. So we thank you for the work you're doing, and we ask you to continue pushing and do your best, and you will be successful. And we'll have you here again just now to tell us how things have been going on your immediate plans. Thanks a lot for coming.
All right, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
You've been listening to Mr. Nikhil Rogers and Mr. Nicholas Dupree. Nikhil is the Commodore of the St. Kitts Yacht Club, and Nicholas is the immediate past Commodore of same. And we thank them for being here with us on the ball, and we wish them well with their programs that they're doing. And I don't think it's an easy thing, and there's always the fear of the sea. And we hope that they have tremendous success representing us here in St. Kitts and Nevis and further afield. Have a good night, gentlemen. Stick and stay, don't go away. We'll be right back, and we're going to be talking cricket with Mr. Lushan Bergen, with Leeward Islands on the 15 captain, vice captain, who just competed in the West Indies on the 15 competition. Welcome back to On the Ball here at 98.9 Win FM. I am Troy Biff Mills. We had our first set of guests with us, the St. Kitts Yacht Club, and we're having our second set now. And two things, unlike the first one, there were two persons, now we have three. Unlike the first one, there wasn't a female, and we now have a beautiful female in the studio with us. And we're going to go over and have them introduce themselves and tell us about them in a minute. But we're now on the cricketing scene. A lot of cricket being played all over the world, especially the IPL. And I've watched one or two of the IPL's games. And is it Josh Butler it was? They needed 1 run. His team needed 1 run to win the game off of 1 ball. And he needed 6 runs to get a century. He was playing his 100th IPL match. And would you believe he got a 6 off the last ball? So he was 100 not out. And let's go straight to the studio and say, good evening, welcome to Win FM 98.9.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, it's so lovely to hear that female voice in there. Could you introduce yourselves first, please? Tell us, who do we have the privilege of speaking to?
My name is Tremesia Rollins, Lashawn Bergen's mother.
My name is Lashawn Bergen.
My name is Jace Taylor.
Lashawn, when you said tree, you nearly frightened me. Thought you were going to say try. When you said Tremesia. Thank you. Welcome to the studios of Win FM 98.9. It's not the first time for Jace, and I think it's the first time, at least from the sports point of view, for both of us. Moms, we're going to start with you. Way back when, how did you get a feeling that, hey, my son Lashawn is going to play cricket one of these years? Where and when and how did that feeling come?
I never one day thought that he would be a cricketer. I always thought that he would be a footballer instead.
Why, he was always kicking balls around and not playing the cricket?
Yes.
So when and how did you see that transformation? Did he watch any TV at home, World Cup or anything like that?
Well, just playing with the neighbors' children in the alley.
And what about you, Lashawn? First off, forgive me, how old are you?
15.
You're 15.
Yes.
Okay. So where and when you got the inclination for cricket? Was it your first sport?
Well, no, as my mother said, I always was into football. Then I got a chance to knock up a few balls with Ward, James Ward, Mr. James Ward. So after that,
And how long ago was that?
I was 2016 with Tivana Camp.
So we're talking about 8 years when you were about 6, 7, 8 years.
yes,
Around there.
yeah.
You started knocking up a ball, but when did you feel that, hey, I could get somewhere in the cricket?
Maybe about 2019, somewhere there. 2016.
2016.
Yeah, 2018.
Have you represented, or what matches have you played? St. Paul's under 15, SEMS, the St. Paul's Primary School, SEMS junior team.
Well, currently we don't have a SEMS cricket team as yet, but we're looking forward to a tournament soon, a school tournament. I played for St. Paul's most of my years.
What do you think is your strength? Batting, bowling?
To be fair, batting,
Batting.
yeah.
Okay, we're going to come back to you. Coach, where and when was the first time, if you could recall, how you interacted with Lashawn?
I first interacted with Lashawn maybe 4 years ago at the academy, when the academy was just starting its new progress. I thought he always had a bit of skill. You know, he had that mindset that he can do anything he puts his mind to. And really appreciate that, for a youngster to have that kind of mentality at an early age.
Can I ask you to hold while we go to the line and say good evening to this caller? Welcome, you're live on Win FM 98.9 on the ball.
Good evening, my friend. How are you doing?
I am blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks, sir. What about you?
I'm fairly okay, thanks. I'm just calling from Antigua. I'm just calling to wish the guys, all the best in the game starting tomorrow. We can just bring home the championship. We can beat Barbados soundly. And, I'm looking forward for us to do so. I'd just like to congratulate the guys for what they've done so far. They've made the Leeward Islanders very proud. And if we can continue in this vein in this match, absolutely, we will be more happy than we are right now. I'd just like to say to every member of the squad, put out your best, be at good heart, consider that you're playing not for yourselves, but for the Leeward Islands and the Leeward Island supporters.
Do you mind telling us who you are for those of us who may not recognize your voice, sir?
I'm Samuel Best Spencer, Chairman of Selectors for the Leeward Islands.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mr. Spencer. While you're on the line, we have LaShawn Bergen with us live in studio, along with his coach and the coach for the Leeward Islands under 15, Jay Taylor, along with his mom. You had a chance to see LaShawn in action, I understand. What are your thoughts?
Brilliant youngster. Brilliant youngster. We have to harness this talent, There are lots of good talented players, young guys, and I think this guy played beyond his age. He really played some good cricket. The future is bright. You've got to ensure that people in St. Kitts, take care of this guy, give him some good guidance, let him play as much cricket as possible, give him financial support, give him everything that could make him the cricketer he's destined to be.
I thank you. I appreciate that. His mom is in here, and she is smiling from ear to ear, extremely proud. And we thank you for those words of encouragement, Mr. Spencer. And who knows, in the next few years, you might be in the pavilion looking at him as a prospect to make the Leeward Islands senior team.
And not only that, I'm looking for him to move on to bigger things, the West Indies team. I have a passion for Leeward's cricket. I have a passion for cricketers from any of the territories. As long as they're good, disciplined people and they can go out there and, play their game seriously, I'll give any support that I can possibly give.
We really appreciate that. Anything you would want LaShawn to say to Mr. Spencer?
I would just want to say thanks for all the support. I just would want to say thanks for the support and looking at me.
You're most welcome, young man. And you've got a good pathway in which to carry your cricket forward. Don't let us down at all. We're one people, we're Leeward Islanders. We're from just one little space. And your cricket can uplift your life. Your cricket can make you the person you want to be, as long as you endeavor to work very hard and ensure that you achieve what is there for you. Remember, hard work don't kill anyone. Okay? Just remember that. The reward for hard work is more hard work. And just continue to work hard, and you will absolutely reach your goal.
Thank you
I'm very pleased. I was a scout for the West Indies under 15, and I absolutely enjoyed the cricket that you played here in Antigua.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Samuel, and thank you for listening to the program, and do continue to listen and have a wonderful night.
Thank you very much, and you guys should see me in St. Kitts in a matter of a couple of days.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir. Looking
You're
forward to
most
meeting you up
welcome.
again. All right. That was
right.
That was Mr. Samuel Spencer, the chairman of selectors for the Leeward Islands senior team, and giving some very inspiring words to LaShawn. Hold a sec while we go to the line again and we say goodnight to this caller. Welcome to On the Ball here at Win FM 98.9. You're live.
Good night, Charlie. Bill. Good night. Good night.
Good night, sir.
How are you? How are you?
I'm blessed, highly favored, giving thanks. What about you?
I am here listening to the program, and I just want to say congratulations to this young man, Lashan Taylor.
Burgon.
Lashan Bogan.
Burgon.
Lashan Bogan. Want to wish him all the best. He's a young man, just 15 years, and he's doing well. And I want to wish him mommy all the best too. And I want to tell him mommy to be strong and try to encourage him. Because cricket, sport and a whole, could make you a millionaire in no time at all. So, mommy, just be strong behind Lashan, encourage him. You know, just talk to him from idle company and idle friends, and let continue to be the person he be. If you like this sport, and he coached Jason Taylor.
Yes, Jason Taylor is his coach. Jason Taylor is his coach, yes.
Jason Taylor, the coach, yeah. Yeah, just want Jason Taylor, try to encourage him, and, you know, I know him, I know you, I know you're so good, Jason Taylor, too. I don't know if I know you. But, Biff, you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you very much,
every Tuesday night I try to listen, but sometimes, you know, we got sometimes.
I appreciate that. And thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for calling.
Thank you as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all right.
That was one of the country's faithful listener to programs here, calling in on various stations, and he calls Win FM a lot, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much for calling in. So 4660989 is the number. If you want to call Lashan and extend congratulations to him, words of encouragement, or if you want to WhatsApp, you could WhatsApp me 668-2055. We have another caller, Lashan.
Hot topic.
Good evening. Welcome to On the Ball. You're live.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
I'm trying to call in to congratulate Lashan. We are rooting for you. Keep up the good vibe. Keep up. I remember when Lashan used to be outside in Sandy Point in the hot sun practicing, throwing the ball on the side of the house. Lashan, the sun ain't hot, come out. No, auntie, everything good. Late in the night he practicing, so I'm rooting for him. We're rooting for him. Lashan, let me go. Missy, let me go. Bogey, let me go. This coach, let me go. We're rooting for you. So just keep it up. You got it going.
Thank you, Brina.
Appreciate that. Thanks for listening, and thanks for calling in, man.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye. Lashan was very popular, and I really appreciate the fact that the chairman of selectors for the Leeward Islands took the time to call in and encourage you. Sound words indeed. I've only known him, I saw him here with the rounds of cricket we had here early up in February, and I was very much impressed with him and how he thinks, how he operates, his demeanor, and I think it's safe to say we became very good friends in such a short space of time. And what I like about him, he's a man of his words. He speaks how he thinks and feels it. And that encouragement, I think it's tremendous for you. And congratulations again. You were saying, Coach, and forgive me, he did make a point I really liked. He said that you played well beyond your age as a 15-year-old. And that speaks to the mental preparation and the psychological approach, the thinking. And that is something that I believe is lacking even a lot with our senior cricketers. And for him to be saying that of you at this young age, that is a tremendous point. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, as I said earlier, his mindset is probably one of his biggest asset. He had a conversation with a few of his players. I don't think he realized I was listening. But what stood out for me is that he said this is his last under 15 tournament, and he's going to make an impression on the tournament. So said, so done. Wow. So when I heard that, I was pleased in my heart to hear that coming from him. He really put his hand up for his team, He batted in some difficult conditions, difficult situations as well. And for him to come out on top with some big scores, that was a good job on him. Really happy for him just to see that at this age. His temperament is above his age.
I was extremely surprised that you were made vice captain. What brought about that process?
Leadership qualities. He presents himself off the field well, right? Sometimes you be sitting and the fellas just tend to flock around him. So you look at little things like that. Apart from the cricket knowledge itself, he just has that aura about him. You know, he can lead. Like, if I give him a task, he's going to get it done. Hey, these guys need to be at bed at 9 o'clock. He's going to try enforce that, right? Just giving them little tasks to do to help build their characters. And he's one of those guys that's going to take his job serious.
When, LaShawn, you were told you were going to be the vice captain, how did that make you feel? Well, before that, when you were told you went to Antigua, you and 3 others from St. Kitts,
Yes.
to try out for the under 15 team. How did you prepare yourself for that?
I practice a lot. Just try to stay positive going to the tournament and in the trails and a whole with a positive mindset and a confident mindset and just putting my mind to it.
Did you feel intimidated in any way by any of the players in the camp?
I wouldn't put it that way, but it was good competition. There was good players, so just had to work hard.
Hold a sec as we have another caller. We say good night, welcome. We lost that caller. Here's another one. Good evening, caller. Welcome to we lost that one as well. Please call back 466-0989 callers, and we'll take your call. I do apologize for not getting to you earlier. So you're now in the camp. You had some trial matches and you made half centuries. Hold a second as we go to live to the line. Good evening. Good evening, caller. Welcome to WinFM 98.9. You're live on the ball.
Hello, pleasant good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks, sir. What about you?
Yes, man. I'm here just taking it easy, and I normally listen to your show quite regularly.
Appreciate that. Thanks a lot,
Tonight,
sir.
I'm so much, overwhelmed and enjoy and all the nice words I could find tonight. Go on and on talking nice words, but I just want to big up Lasha. Big up. See, his mom, please, his dad, and this is coming from the Art of Navigate. I just want to give some words of encouragement to the youngster. Keep on the parties on. He seems very serious and dedicated about what he's doing and what he loves, and I just want him to love what he do and do what he loves. And going forward, try to be the best that you can be. I always hear people telling us aim for the stars, but I think there is something beyond the stars. That keep climbing, keep believing, keep just ever, committing to the highest height you can reach, And when you reach the stars, you should be brighter than them, Lasha. This is Honky. Yes?
Yeah, I know.
So just want to say good night to each and everyone who is just listening there, and just continue molding yourself and just listen to all the positive words you can get this evening, and best wishes in all that you endeavor, and God's richest blessings, of course. Yeah, man, blessed.
Thank you very much, the awesome navigator. Thank you for listening and thank you for calling. Positive words, LaShawn.
Yes.
So you're going into your first trial game. You made a century. What was the thinking? Walk us through that.
Well, it was a great feeling. To be honest, it wasn't really about the 50. If you really think about it, it was getting the team in a great position to get to the ending result, which was the win, and I did so well alongside my captain, who also made a 50 in that game, a half century in that game. Actually, I think he made 90.
Yeah, he got about 96 or something like that.
So we both played a role in that game and just trying to get the end result.
Having made that first 50, you're coming up to the second opportunity, still in the trial warm-up games, whatever you were calling it. What's the thinking now going into the second match, having scored that 50 and seeing your team home from that first game?
Just staying positive, confident as usual, and just trying to stay ahead at the opponent.
Were you under any pressure by when if they could make another 50?
No, as I say, it wasn't really about the 50. It wasn't really about the runs. Just was trying to get the team in a great position to win the game.
Well, I got to go a little backwards. Before they announced the squad, the team and the vice captaincy, did you see yourself playing cricket or representing St. Kitts and Nevis, or St. Kitts as it is, in any sport as you were growing up? Or was that ever an ambition of yours? I want to play football or cricket or anything for St. Kitts and St. Kitts and Nevis.
Well, yes, it was always a goal to represent my country and to represent my home community well, and myself and my parents and my family.
Did you see that thinking, that goal extending to the Leeward Islands?
Well, I wouldn't say yes because I really didn't see it, but
now that you're here, what are your thoughts in terms of getting to the higher level, as Mr. Samuels would have said, the West Indies team, whether it's the under 50, West Indies under 15, 17, 19, senior team, whatever it is? At this stage, any thoughts about that? Have you given it any thought?
Well, yes, actually. I feel like wanting to play for the West Indies is every child's goal or every child's dream. And if I do make it,
You're going to make it.
So when you make it?
When I do make it.
That's right.
It will be a pleasure to represent my country on the highest stage.
We go to the line again and we say good evening to this caller. Welcome. Oh, we lost that caller. Please call us back, caller. 466-0989. We have another caller. Good evening. Welcome to On The Ball. We're live. Could you turn down your radio and your computer in the background, please, or move away? Thank you very much. That's a lot better. Good evening. You're live on The Ball here at WinFM 98.9. Thank you for calling.
Yes, Mr. Mills, I just want to take this opportunity, I don't know the young man, to commend him on his achievement thus far. And Mr. Bergen, there's something that I heard your coach spoke about you, and it speaks value, because talent could be raw, but humility is even greater. And when he said that chores an assignment given to you on and off the field is almost always accomplished. And for that, I want to commend you with your talent and continue to be, humble in everything that you do. And as you often said, the sky would be your limit. I wish you all the best, your family, and to Mom, I want you to continue to support Rashawn in everything that he does. All right?
Thank
Have
you.
a great evening and success to you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for listening and thank you for calling in. Really appreciate it. So now you've gone through the trials and the practice. They're now ready to announce the 15. Before, was it 15, 14?
14.
14. Before they announced it, what were your thoughts? What were you thinking? How you were feeling?
We had a trials before in Nevis. I didn't come after a great start, so was a bit iffy about the selection, seeing that I didn't do so well in Nevis. But
A little closer to the mic.
I was saying that, seeing that I didn't do so well in Nevis, I was a bit sketchy about the selections, but I just had to trust the process and be confident and positive.
So the team is now announced, the 14. When you were announced as the vice captain, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel, I wouldn't say pressured, but I felt like I had a heavy load to carry.
Heavy
and
responsibility
Yes.
to live up to.
Yes.
Were you expecting it?
In a sense.
Why?
Because seeing that I was a senior player who played the previous year, and as my coach said, leadership weighs about me.
The interaction with the other players on the field, how did they see it? How did they interact with you as the vice captain? Were they as cooperative as you expected, the support?
Yes. Everybody was doing their part. Everybody was listening. Nobody was giving a back chat. I wasn't doing what we say on the field. Everybody was okay with everything.
Now, if we get to the data, coach, one of two players to score over 200 runs. As I pause as we go to the line to say, good evening, caller. Oops, I guess I was a little late, a little slow. One of two players to score over 200 runs in the tournament. A gentleman from Barbados, Hines, I think it was 291, and Lashon had
Wiggins.
Wiggins, and Lashon had 222. I think you started with a 50 plus, another 50. You had a 409, and you came back with a 93 not out from 99 balls in the last game. How did you see his innings, putting his innings together?
I said earlier, he batted under pressure, but I understand his game in depth.
Hold 1 sec. Let's go to the line again. Say good evening to the caller. Welcome to On the Ball. You're live.
Biff, good night.
Good night, sir.
And when you see talent, we have to lift it up.
Indeed, most correct.
Because it's years now from Mike Cyrus. We ain't seen them kind of talent coming through. All because some vagabond people take over with cricket and they don't care. We want to wish that young man there well. And the young girl in Pakistan. Do not forget that talent were coming out of Sandy Point, Biff. You all got to big her up.
Indeed.
Because she will give this country the first test cap in Pakistan from the 15th. So announce it and let the federation know what's going on in Pakistan. I hope she's listening. Because we want these youths to do well. Money in the sport. Discipline is where we want to see from all your youngsters. Discipline. But that young man from St. Paul is good. And I hope he keep a cool head and understand. Do not smoke no weed. Weed like time. Look for something in life. Education and sports mix in this age here. So young man, jump down behind you 150%. And when you go and you perform, because I know you're going to make us feel proud. And the first $100 on your bill for the first 50 on your head. Have a good night, Biff. This is Jam Down.
Thank you, Mr.
I love this dear country and I love the youth them. But once you're going on the vagabond road, I'm going to big you up. You can't get me big up. So, young man, we all behind you. We all behind you. And you take care. Have a good night, Biff.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jamdong, for listening and also for calling in. We really appreciate it. Sound words indeed from Jamdong. So yes, coach, you were saying?
Yeah, in terms of his skill set in high pressure situation, he plays boring cricket, which simply means doing the basics for long. And that's what he did to be successful. Hit the ball up front him early on, hit the gaps, ran well between the wickets. He complemented each partner that he batted with. And I think that was key. certain areas, I think he got a bit frustrated, but he stuck with it.
Stick a pin again while we go to the line. And we say good evening to this caller. Welcome. You're live on the ball here at Win FM 98.9. Thank you for calling. Hello? Hello? Sorry about that, Coach. Please call back 466-0989. Yes, Coach, you were saying he's stuck with it.
Yeah, he's just stuck with it, stuck with the basic for long periods. I think this is what you need in especially development cricket. Doing the basics in high pressure situations. It always gets you out of trouble, to be fair. But he did that well. He capitalized on bad balls as well too. I think that was good. Hit the gaps, hit the ball with some immense power as well too. As I said, the run in between the wickets was good. So I'm happy to see that for him. It's just to build on that and keep going forward.
I remember the game, you were like 30 yard with 6-7 wickets down, and I started wondering why. How you going to get the support to make the half century? Then you got it. Then I started thinking, how you going to get the support to get to that 100? And the last batter, the number 11, I think he scored 6 from like 39 balls.
Yeah.
And my thing wasn't the 6. My thing was the 39 balls, which is telling me he stuck around to give you that support. What was the conversation you were having with him, the number 11 bat?
Well, I was just telling him to be positive for the ball up front in the V's. If he could soak that ball, he could soak. But at that point in the game, we needed quick singles and quick runs. So he's a good runner between the wickets as well. So if he could just play with soft hands and hit the gaps, we could probably take a single. And I can come on the other end, who is the most stronger batsman between us, and probably attack the bowler more.
That to me, and it brings me to the point that Mr. Samuels made when he called in the chairman of selectors, that you're playing way beyond your age group, because you don't normally have players 15 years with that kind of temperament. At some point, he had to be exposed to some of the balls. How did that make you feel? Were you confident enough to say, hey, I definitely have to get the single, or even if I don't get the single, I have confidence he'll hold out?
Yeah, against certain bowlers, he tend to look a bit aggressive and wanted to hit the ball hard. But as I say, ain't about hitting the ball hard. At certain bowlers, he will try to be aggressive. But as I said, ain't about how aggressive you are. It's about hitting the gaps and taking the quick singles, and me coming on the other end and being the batsman that I am, probably look to take on the bowler.
Now, we've been talking a lot about the batting element. Were you picked primarily, Coach? Was he picked primarily as a batter or as an all-rounder?
Was picked as an all-rounder.
As an all-rounder?
Yeah.
So the bowling, where and when and how did that develop over the years with you?
Started out by bowling pace. To me, it was going well, but I just wanted a change in the nature of the game, so just turned to spin, half spin, and it worked out well.
Now, what I noticed, most times you were given the ball fifth, third change, fourth change, fifth change.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? When I say that, some people, yes, it's a team spirit, and yes, everybody knows the role, but some people might think, oh, why the captain, why he giving me the ball this late, etc. Were you any point in time thinking along those lines?
No. I always stayed positive. Just every time I come on the ball, I just try to soak up the runs as possible, keep them, and every over ball, I try to keep that over under maybe 10 runs, 6 runs, getting that bars that we need to keep the score low.
11 wickets. Arian Mohammed of Trinidad and Tobago, Esinio Fontaine of Wing of the Islands, Ramiro Stout, Barbados 10, Ravaldo Pereira, Guyana 10, Ryan Littleton, Jamaica 7, Lashawn Bergen, Leeward Islands 7. 5 matches, 4 innings, 26 overs, 3 maidens, 106 runs, 7 wickets. So that has put you 6th, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in the bowling list. Let's stick a pin and go to this caller and say, good evening, welcome to On the Ball here at Win FM 98.9. You're live.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
I just want to say congratulations to Lashawn and his mother, Jamesia. It is not easy raising a talented, respectable, and humble young man. Lashawn, I want you to keep pushing and striving for the best. You have a bright future, and don't say if you will make it. Say when you will make it, because I know you will make it. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for listening and thank you for calling in. So you would have been 6th in the tables with your bowling. Did you expect to do that well, per se? Out of all the bowlers used, perhaps 30-something, 40-something bowlers, you're in the top 6.
Well, yes, I always have the capability to bowl well in depth overs and in beginning stages of the game. But let me put it this way. In cricket, it's not about me, it's about the team. So if the team need me to come and take 2 wickets in maybe 3 overs, or less than the 3 overs, I think I have the capability to do that.
And I think you picked up a 3 for in the match, which was your most wickets in any one game.
Yes.
When he was bowling, coach, what were your thoughts? How confident were you in him?
I'm not worried. As I say, he trusts his skill set, so I'm going to back him 100% with that. I think certain matchups he does well. He bowls with a bit of pace as well as a half spinner, not too loopy. So he creates that kind of pressure on the batters. Let's say he bowled in some critical situations throughout for us. He did well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time flying. We have just about 2-3 more minutes, but let's go to this call and say good night. Thank you for calling On the Ball. You're live.
Biff,
Yes, sir.
I just hope that somebody's business place see this young man as a potential to make West Indies side, and other young man who they have got the potential to support them in the cricket gears or whatsoever they want. Somebody's business place in think it, because the parents them support them, and if me as a parent support you, support the youth them, man. Let the youth them strive and come good ambassador for the country. Lashawn, I behind you 100%. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you, Kuchu. This is the guy they call Mr. Politics. I got to extract to commit met 1 me 2 today, so I can't talk as good as I want to talk. Anyway, you continue, keep it up, man. Keep it up. My mom, support him and coach again.
Thanks.
Rally behind Lashawn. Want him to make the West Indies side. When he reach 19 years, I want him to be on the West Indies side. And maybe younger. You're going to be the next boy and Lara for the West Indies and sink it. Blessed.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Politics. We appreciate it. We now have about a minute and a half, folks. And chances are we're going to have you here. But I like the point that he said about the gears. Because I checked some time ago on a decent bat is like, what, $400 EC? A decent pair of pads about $400. It dawned on me that there doesn't seem to be much in cricket less than $400 EC.
It's quite expensive sport, to be honest.
And we really appeal to persons, individuals, clubs, groups, organizations to come on board and lend support to this youngster. Because over the years, Coach, even when you were growing up, we've been wondering when we're going to get a player on the West Indies senior team. Then we started thinking if we're going to get, because so many players we thought would have come and gone before us. Yes, there's Michael Louis now, who seems to be in the making, and he has some work to do still, and we wish him all the best. But this is a very bright spark. And I know Mr. Vernon Springer. He was on an interview last week, Thursday, on another radio station. And can we squeeze in one last call, please? Good evening. Thank you for calling Win FM. You're live on the ball.
Biff, good night.
Good night, sir.
My name is Shasta.
Yes, Mr. Shasta.
I ain't a stranger. I ain't a stranger to Lashan. That's my cousin, straight up.
Wonderful.
I want to wish him all the best. I also want to say, remember those Saturdays that I bowled to him with a passion fruit, asking. And he threw them thing all over my head. I don't even know where they were going.
Passion fruit.
I couldn't catch none.
I like that.
I say, partner, stay at your thing. You want to do this, do it. One of these days, you're going to be good. And you see where he be today?
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah. Anyway, good night to you and, him, I'm right there, and good night to him also. Bless up.
Thanks a lot, Shasta. Appreciate it. And Mr. Springer was saying, Vernon was actually saying that he's working on something to get something for you. And I compliment Mr. Springer highly for that, because cricket gears, I told somebody it takes probably about $1,200, $1,500 to outfit somebody. And these days, once you're playing cricket and you're serious, you have to have at least 2 pairs of pads, 2 pairs of tips, 2 bats, and all these kind of things, just in case one happen. So I am putting out an appeal to us here in St. Kitts Nevis and Kittitians and divisions for the field, especially Kittitians, to come on out and assist Lashawn. If persons want to lend their help and support, Mamzi, how could they go about doing that, coach? Mamzi and the coach.
I could liaise with his personal club.
Which is?
Down at St. Paul's.
And who's in charge of the personal club again?
Mr. James Ward, which he's doing a lovely job with the players down there, including Lashawn as well. You have to give him credit for the day in, day out.
Indeed.
Yeah. His number?
I'm not sure. Mainly from my head.
You could find me at the Len Harris Cricket Academy. I'm always there.
Well, James Ward's number is 668-2318. I hope he doesn't mind my giving it out.
Just about.
668-2318. Yes, continue.
I say myself at the Len Harris Cricket Academy. I'm there most days from 8 to 6. Could drop by, leave the equipment. I don't know if Mom wanna leave a number or anything like that.
They might be kind of shy.
Or even the SKCA or something like that.
St. Kitts Cricket Association. And we appreciate that. Any last words, ladies and gentlemen? Mamzi, start with you.
Well, I just want to say thanks to God the Almighty. We're not leaving him out.
Indeed.
We always give God thanks. Also to his well-wishers. I just want to say thank you for your kind words, encouraging words to Lashawn and myself, his dad and the entire family. We will continue to do our best and rally behind Lashawn.
Thank you very much, Mamzi. What about your coach?
To the young man, just keep going. You have a good supportive cast, which is good. And just keep your head up, keep working hard.
What about you, Lashawn, the man of the moment?
Just want to tell everybody thanks for the support. Thanks to Mr. Ward, my coaches, Jace Taylor especially, Mr. Ward especially. Just want to say thanks to my parents, my aunties, my uncles, my cousins, everybody who encouraged me to do the right thing.
Lashawn, it has been a tremendous pleasure having you here in St. Kitts, in Win FM studios with us, 98.9 on the ball. I really enjoyed it. I was very proud when I heard you were made the vice captain. I was extremely proud of your performances. And I may sound a little ungrateful, but to me it wasn't really about the winning per se and the position, but the performances, not just of yourselves, of the leeward team. I'm very much impressed with the tournament. I think we have a good crop of youngsters in the
Definitely.
next 3-4 years. I think the West Indies under 19 team is going to be very, very strong. I encourage you to take on board all the support you would have gotten from the persons who called in, family and otherwise, especially the chairman of the Leeward Island Senior Selectors, Mr. Samuel Spencer, out of Antigua. Keep your head on and be strong, be positive. Do not abandon your schoolwork, the academics. That's extremely important. Don't wait until you go to the camp of the academy with your coach to train. You have to put in your personal time, the running and the bowling, the batting, the fielding. And persons are going to try to not give you the best encouragement. Let me put it that way. You have to be strong. And the times you're going to have to be telling persons close to you, well, no, this is what I want, this is how I want to do it. And always be humble as you are. I think that is a key point. And respectful and manful. And the world, the sky is the limit for you, Lashawn. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. You've been listening to Mr. Lashawn Bergen, the under 15 Leeward Islands vice captain here from St. Kitts, and his mom, Tremesia Rollins, as well as the coach, Jace Taylor. We thank them for being with us here in the studio. We thank you for listening on the ball, Win FM 98.9. We encourage you to come on board and sponsor us, 466-9586. We thank all the callers who call in and encourage Lashawn, and we really appreciate it. See you next week, Tuesday. Godspeed. As I slip away, always be positive in your thoughts, in your words, and in your actions. Have a good night, and thank you for listening. I'm Troy Biff.